Hi guys, Charisse here from Pieces Calligraphy. This post is a comparison of the brush pens that I use when I'm creating brush calligraphy. I've been getting a lot of questions. Some of the common questions I've been getting are, what are my favorite brush pens? What are the best brush pens for beginners? And how do the pens that I use compare with each other? So I hope this post answers those questions and even gives you more of an in-depth look in the pens that I use. I'll be going over all of these in detail. But just real quick, let me just show you what each one is, just so you know what I'm referring to as I'm going through them and comparing them. So this first one is the dual brush pen, Tombow dual brush to be exact. I use this pen in a lot of my posts on Instagram. It's my favorite pen. It's the first one that I've ever used when I first learned brush calligraphy. It's a great beginner pen. And I have a more in-depth review on this one that I will add a link to in the bottom. Okay, it's not gonna stay. Okay, so the second one is the Tombow Fudenosuke or Fudenosuke. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so we're gonna say Tombow Fude for short. The Tombow Fude soft tip in a black shell, black cover, and then the Tombow Fude hard tip in a blue shell or blue cover, and then this is the Pentel Sign Fude touch pen. And then this is the Pentel Sign Fine Point, which I will explain why this is in this post, even though it is not a brush pen, but it's also a Pentel Sign pen, and I want to discuss that distinction later. Okay, so let's go over each one in a little bit more detail, and you will find all of this information on my blog and some great pictures, some up-close pictures to help you see the difference. So for starters, here's the dual brush pen. The dual brush pen, like I said earlier, is a great one for beginners. It's the first pen I ever used. The biggest thing I want to note about this is the size. The strokes are huge. They're partly huge because I'm making them huge, but this tip is very big and creates very wide strokes. It's very flexible. You can create very thin lines, and then also this is the maximum thickness. A lot of fun. So let's put a number 1 here for reference. That's the dual brush. It does start out really sharp when you first use the pen, depending on your wear and tear, how often you use it, how hard you're pressing down, and the angles that you're using the pen. It could get frayed, the tip can get frayed a little faster than if you were to be more careful about the angle you're using. So that's just one thing to take note of as you're experimenting and getting more familiar with this pen. The next pen is the Tombow Fude soft tip. This is in a black case, and this is a lot smaller than the Tombow dual brush. Look how the size difference is there. So this is more like, I would say, a regular pen. It feels really comfortable in my hand, and it's very flexible. I love this pen for if I'm gonna be writing a long passage, if I'm doing a long piece. Whereas with the dual brush pen, I usually just use that pen for maybe one word or a couple of words, just because it's so big and it fills the page really fast. But the great thing, so going back to the Tombow Fude soft tip, very flexible. That's about as big as the thickness goes for how wide the strokes are. Again, a great starter pen. It doesn't take much to press down and create those thick and thin strokes for brush calligraphy. The next one is the Tombow Fude, and essentially the only difference with the soft tip is obviously the tip is softer, so more it's harder, and and it's in a blue cover, so that's how you can tell which one you're using. This one also feels really good in your hand. It holds like a regular pen just because of the size. Really easy to create thin and thick strokes. And both of these pens, the hard tip and the soft tip, the Tombow Fude, they're very sharp, which is great for creating those thin strokes, and then when you press down, they allow you to create those thicker strokes. Two really great pens. And the last one, and I say last for a reason, I will get to why the fifth one is not a brush pen, but my fourth pen I want that I have here is the Pentel Sign pen. And it's the Pentel Sign Fude Touch, which is the right one you want for brush calligraphy. Very flexible tip, very sharp, really similar to the Tombow Fude soft tip. I use this one a lot for, again, longer passages or just for quick sketches, quick doodles, quick practice. Very sharp tip and about the same thickness as the two Tombow Fude pens. Now the reason why this one is different from the Pentel Sign Fine Point is because the Fine Point is not, there's no flex. So this is me writing the same letters above and trying to vary my pressure to create calligraphy, but nothing. It's the same width the whole way, and sure enough, these strokes do not differ, I mean barely, with different pressure, so light to dark to harder pressure. So this is not a brush pen, and I wanted to make that clear because I've told people in the past who've asked which pen I'm using in an Instagram post that it was a Pentel Sign pen, and I didn't know that it was important to clarify it's the Fude Touch that you want, not the Fine Point. And yeah, so that's those are the brush pens that I have with me. They're actually in my purse all the time. I've just ordered ordered more so I could stock up on them. And I would love to hear what you think about this video. If you want to see more of it, if you have questions I didn't answer, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel to help out with and give me feedback, and also to take a visit on my blog at piecescalligraphy.com. So thanks for watching, guys, and hope you have a great day. Bye.